kind of picture where we're going down the highway. As you drift over, it's picking up the lanes. We got that out of lane warning because I didn't have my turn signal on. Turn my turn signal on, I crossed that lane again. I didn't get any alerts because I intended to do that. I intended to cross the lane. It's not going to give you an audible alert at that point because you're intending to do it. So the next thing I'm going to show you is we come around the bend here. I'm going to show you following distance alerts. So below 37 mile an hour, we get a closer into impact alert. Above 37 mile an hour, we're going to give you 3 warnings. Closer, closest into impact. So as I come around, we're going to get that first warning. We get that second warning, and then the brakes apply. My foot is still at the gas pedal. It never left. That was the system kicking on and applying the brakes for me because I didn't listen to what was going on. As we rolled past that speed sign, I picked it up. That was a 30 mile an hour speed sign. So we're going to let Tom get a little bit ahead of us, and I'm going to catch up to him. I'm going to try and get all 3 alerts, which in this small area is probably not going to happen. But it'll give us the important ones right up until we get that impact alert again and the brakes come on. So as you can see, it was even tracking as we're going through those curves. It was able to pick up the vehicle and say, hey, there's going to be an incident up here. Driver's not listening. We're going to go ahead and apply the brakes. Again, it's a backup for the driver. It's not a driver replacement. If there's something going on with the driver, his mind's not on task, the system's going to give him warnings. Hopefully he comes back to and takes over. So this one here, I'm coming in at just a little over 40 mile an hour. And Tom was doing about, well, he's doing 11 mile an hour. So that's what you would kind of call a rapid approach. Think of, you got slow moving traffic up there. The driver was making his peanut butter and jelly sandwich, not paying attention. It gave warnings. By the time he got the warnings, he's just now putting his peanut butter and jelly down. The brakes came on, saved him from having that rear end collision. So again, it's there to cover the driver for when he's got that lapse of judgment where he decided that I can't make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while driving. I don't recommend it. I have tried it. Don't tell anybody.
And you said it picks up the sign?
Yes. So we just went past the sign there again. At another point, I'm going to try and go past it at a higher speed so we can get the overspeed alerts. At 5 mile an hour over, you're going to get this, it'll show the speed sign, and you're going to get an audible alert. And then at 10 mile an hour over, you're going to get an audible alert, you're going to get a visual, and you're going to get a 1 second dethrottle. It takes the throttle away for 1 second. It does not apply the brakes. If the driver is telling you that it's applying the brakes, he's most likely going into a rollover event and the system is kicking on. So now I'm going to do an ABS full panic brake stop. So that was at 55 mile an hour. This truck is all disc brakes. That cone is at 150 feet from the other cones. So trailer's nice and straight behind us, showing you the effectiveness of the ABS. This is all built on roll stability and ESP. So if at some point during that event, if I decided I was going to yank the wheel some direction or the other, the ABS is already working. The ESP is going to kick in.
Anything on your right?
I'm going to show you blind spotter as Tom comes around us. This is blind spotter 2, so it's got a further range. So as he came by, we saw it went red. That audible alert was me turning on the turn signal because I am a professional driver and I like to use my turn signal. You can see it stayed red. I was still able to read his license plate. He was fully clear of me. We're able to get 20 feet out now with the cam connection with the next generation blind spotter. So we're able to get 20 feet out, 20 feet back, and 10 feet into the lane. So we're able to get those further out events. So you got the audible alert as we went by. We didn't get the 1 second dethrottle because I wasn't quite fast enough. We're only about 37 mile an hour. Copy that, going in for stationary. So now we're going to do stationary. So again, driver's not focused on the task here. We're going to be at about 40 to 45 mile an hour. This truck is a next generation truck, so it's capable of up to 50 miles of this truck. Again, we're going to get some warnings. I'm going to not listen to those warnings. We're going to let the system take over and apply the brakes for us. So again, my foot is still at the gas pedal. That was all the system taking over and applying the brakes. So I'm going to back up so I don't run over Fred's little cones that he left out for us.
Oh yeah.
So now if a driver was to come into that situation and go, hey, I'm alert, if they go to steer around the car, they can do so. So the system will go back to the driver if the driver steers out and clears, the radar clears that car and there's nothing in front of it. It'll give the control back over to the driver. So you'll feel the brakes come on, you jerk the wheel, you steer on around it, it's gonna release the brakes, give it back to the driver. The other way that the system can be do an override is if you're at 90% or better on throttle. That's showing driver intent. It's showing that the driver is intending to plow through whatever is there. You'll get a slight brake intervention and then it's just going to release it, and you can then plow on through whatever it is that is there. That's the only way you can override the system. It's either with a steering input to clear it, or to do that 90% better throttle. Any questions?
Yeah. Vibration. We do a lot of off-road.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 70% off-road.
Okay.
Is there a calibration process that this stuff needs to go through? Can you get knocked out of calibration?
So the only way that it's going to get knocked out of calibration is if it does take an impact to the actual radar. All of this has been through a